KNW, its management, or other advertisers. This is Alternative Talk 1150.
Rebecca Callahan wants to help you find and live your unique happy, the kind of life you might have only dreamt about until now. This is Soulful Synchronicities, and here she is, Rebecca Callahan.
Oh, thank you, Eric. We've got conversations about self-love here. Very, very important stuff I've found. And love for others. Adding self-love just switches up everything in one's life, I believe, and turns it into magical. If you have questions, comments about the show, requests for coaching, or just ideas, I would love to hear from you. Send them all to djrebeccacallahan@outlook.com. I'm also on Facebook as well under Rebecca Callahan, so check it out. And right now, invisible hat tip to my esteemed producer, Eric. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Rebecca.
How you doing?
Doing fine. How you doing today?
Good, good. How was the commute?
Oh, not too bad today.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was quite reasonable. When it's a dry day, it makes it easier on those roads for
Was
sure.
it dry this morning?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least
good.
for me.
Good, good. Hey, we have many ways that you can listen and watch, including going to our website, 1150kknw.com, going on the dial to 1150 if you're in the greater Wenatchee area, or greater Seattle area. Ooh, slip. I used to be in Wenatchee.
But folks
Can
in
you
Wenatchee can definitely listen online.
Yes, they can, and thank you. And online, and we have replays available on YouTube as well as SoundCloud, and the
easiest way to get
possibilities.
to them all is 1150kknw.com.
Yeah, most definitely. So thank you for that. And an incredible event this Saturday. I'm so excited now that I am out of fully the closet spiritually. You know, when you have a show that's kind of about spirituality, I figure you're kind of totally out of the closet there. And it's the Northwest Mind, Body, Spirit Connection in the Seattle area. One of the most fun things to go to. I just love it. And you find so many people that kind of feel a little bit like you do, and it's just incredible. It's going to be right here in Bellevue in the greater Seattle area at the Hilton, 10 to 5, only $10. So worth the money and so fun for the whole family. And I invite you to take a visual tour, and if you're not in the area and you can't, for some reason you can't go, you're going to get a lot from this regardless. No question. But I invite you to take a visual tour and kind of peek with me today. Here's some personal stories included, and some of the people you'll be able to meet there. But watch out, this hour is about to fly by. Most definitely. We are talking about holistics for humans, kind products for your beloved pets, sweet-sounding singing bowls, and more with my panel today with the founder, coordinator, Gail Picken, author and holistic coach, Lisa Flowers, instigator of new ways of taking good care of the dogs, horses, and other animals we love, Susan Moore, and Geraldine as well. Tell me, remind me of her name before I introduce you.
Geraldine Baines.
Okay, Geraldine Baines, owner of Studio Bijou, located in Duval, Washington, which is also part of the greater Seattle area. She's going to be doing a singing bowl demo Saturday at the event, so we'll talk to her about that and more. And this is your chance to get out there and meet people, like-minded people that are doing some things that you do and feeling the ways you are. In case you're not driving, feel free to pull up the official site. Gail has created a dandy one, big time, Northwest, so NW, mindbodyspiritconnection.com. That's nwmindbodyspiritconnection.com. Don't do it if you're driving, though. I really suggest to you not to do it. Peruse the schedule of events there. And Gail, allow me to introduce mastermind and coordinator. I would not be able to do what you do, and you have so much fun with it. I love that you do. Thank you for taking the time talking with us. And while you're corralling this huge event, welcome. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me on, Rebecca. It's great to be here.
Yeah, yeah. So give us a little visual layout of the land. What are we going to see and experience Friday?
So
Saturday, actually.
Friday we're going to be setting up, but Saturday
Yeah.
is the day of our event, the Northwest Mind Body Spirit Connection. It starts at 10 at the Bellevue Hilton, and it's an expo format. So when you come in, you're going to be able to go visit exhibitors. We've got a really amazing lineup of exhibitors. We're going to be downstairs in the ballroom, grand ballroom at the Hilton. So you can walk around and meet the exhibitors, and we also have a full lineup of classes.
Boy,
So-
do we ever.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And these classes, they're short, they're about a half hour each, but we've got just a wide range of topics that we're covering. And some of them you can experience, like the singing bowl meditation, and we've got a Nia class, and we've got a mindfulness meditation class. So some of them are really experiential like that. Other ones are really just teaching you something that you probably, maybe haven't heard about before. We've got some holistic dentists going to be giving us information, and just a wide range of health and wellness topics.
Yeah, and 21, did you say 21 speakers?
Yeah, we have 21 speakers. So we will have, multiple classes going on at the same time throughout the day. And then we also have on the main stage in the ballroom, we've also got some special treats. We have a laughter yoga demo that's happening.
One of my favorites.
Yay. And then we're doing an Earth Day inspired fashion show that Salem Boutique is putting on.
Yeah, that's 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
So what are we going to see with give me a little more on the fashion.
So they're going to be
doing.
putting they do fashion and crystals, and they're going to be coming up with their outfits based on the elements, fire, earth, wind, water. So it should be
Fantastic.
really fun with a great background. And
Yeah.
then, of course, one of the highlights this year at noon on our main stage is our keynote panel of KKNW radio show hosts.
Yay!
I know, and that's going to be super fun. We have Dina Marie from Lift Your Spirits with Dina Marie, Martha Childress from Natural Choice Network, Susie Hindle Care from Radiantly You, and Sunny Joy McMillan from Sunny in Seattle. And basically, they're all going to be up there sharing and talking about what they're seeing as trends in health, wellness, and sustainability, and probably talking a little bit about how they got into radio and what they're seeing the impact is, with their shows. And then we're going to open it up to questions from the audience.
Yeah, that'll be fun. They all have really interesting shows. I encourage you to check out the replays available, too, for all of them. I know Dina Marie and Sunny are both on Friday, so that's coming up before Saturday as well, but we all have, recordings of our show, so it's nice to hear those replays. And what a panel you have collected. I really like your choices on that. Big time. So we talked about the sheer magic that kind of goes on at these events. And I think that kind of is why you keep on doing them. Am I right?
Yes, there has to be a reason. There is a lot of work to put on a live event, but when it all comes together, this is my very favorite part. There's so many different moving pieces, and then it kind of comes together like a puzzle. And then when people come, there's always some magic that happens when, you meet somebody that you just needed to meet. You learn something that you needed to learn and you didn't even know it. You run into a friend or you make a new friend. There's just a lot that happens. And what has happened in the past, we started this event on Camano 3 years ago, and it has grown, and we've, added locations in Linwood, and now we're coming to Bellevue.
For the first time.
For the first time. We're so excited to be here. And but the connections that have formed, even between the different exhibitors who are there and the speakers and then the attendees.
Yeah,
has
they don't
just
get to
been-
meet each other a lot of times, but now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's great that, and they've told us that they're like, oh, this is it's like a family reunion, that they get to be together, all together for a day under one roof and sharing their gifts and talents and expertise with the people who come in. So it's really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, I just have such a good time there. And, you feel the energy and the shared experiences and the soulful synchronicities. Yes, you do. Meaningful connections. and all that good stuff. And we're going to be talking to our other guests in just a moment. But right now, I'm going to take a short break, and I'll be right back with Soulful Synchronicities with me, Rebecca Callahan, and my room full of guests.
Make plans for the Northwest Mind Body Spirit Connection, Saturday, April 21st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Hilton Bellevue. Demonstrations, classes, workshops, exhibits, fashion show, and more. Dina Marie joins hosts of Sunny in Seattle, Radiantly You, and Natural Choice Network for a discussion on health, wellness, and sustainability. Just $10 and kids get in free. Check out nwmindbodyspirit.com.
Hi, I'm attorney turned life coach Sunny Joy, host of Sunny in Seattle. I invite you to join me every Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. right here on Alternative Talk 1150 a.m. KKNW. Each week, I'll be bringing you amazing coaches, authors, and healers who are on a mission to encourage you, inspire you, and give you tools to live a life filled with joy, peace, freedom, and purpose. I look forward to connecting with you every Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. Sunny in Seattle, radio that positively shines.
Alternative Talk 1150. Talk radio for the body, mind, and soul.
The show is Soulful Synchronicities, always heartfelt with an electric feel. Now your host, Rebecca Callahan.
Back to it. Yes, we were all rocking out to Sunny's music on her promo. And thank you, by the way. Thank you incredibly, a huge amount for putting this all together, because I know that must be a job, but it's, from what we talked about, it's a labor of love. Big time
It is
for
a
you.
labor of love, and it's almost an addiction, I'd say.
Is it?
I think
good.
I've been
Please,
running
keep
events,
with that.
and getting people together for a long time in different fields, and it's just part of what I love doing, and watching the magic that happens just makes everything worthwhile.
I sort of watched you at Linwood a little bit while you were doing that. You were watching kind of things that happen and stuff. It was really interesting. Well, I would like to introduce you to Susan Moore, and she is owner of Chava Naturals. Is that how you pronounce it?
That is.
It's spelled Chava. You want to be a little closer to that mic. But I'd love to see you while you talk too. You can always turn this. We didn't tell you that, did we?
Oh, yeah, we can maneuver.
Did we, Eric? I missed that part. Anyway, she has a line of dog treats and horse herbs and more made with simple, wholesome ingredients. Ones you can recognize, you can actually read them and pronounce.
Right.
And, I know what chia seeds are, that kind of thing. And you're going to have samples at the show. Welcome to Soulful Synchronicities,
Thank
Sue.
you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gail.
How are you doing today?
Great. We're doing great.
Yeah, good.
We
have
need
a pretty.
me and the mouse in my pocket. I always say we because there's a team.
There's a mouse in the pocket, not a live mouse.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking. Little humor there. Anyway, welcome. And you had a quote that you would like to share that you say about every day, right?
I do. And first I want to say Chava Naturals is actually, Chava is earth in Mayan. So it makes sense to call it Earth Naturals.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Right? So Maya Angelou was quoted to say, "We did what we knew how to do, and when we knew better, we did better." So when you think about it, everything is a journey. And we ourselves learned how to read labels, and we're now learning how to read labels for our animals too. But that's basically what I'm trying to say with that.
Yeah, that's kind of the heart of it too. And we got to get you a little closer so we can hear you well enough. But anyway, so a while ago, let me take you back. Your daughter adopted a horse.
Right.
And what transpired from that?
Well, when my daughter, I can hear the difference. Thank you.
Yay.
My daughter adopted a horse by the name of Promise. And when we got her, she had ulcers. She had problems with her feet. She had arthritis in her fetlocks. She had kind of a history to her. And our way of solving that was to ask people for products. So we bought some herbs from the local feed store, and after a little while, they were no longer available on the store shelf. And two of my friends, Lisa Egley and Terry Inglis, they're sisters, they bought the recipes from the man who owned what was called Shamisa Ridge. And it was primarily, before that, connected to Hilton Herbs. And it was a line of organic herbs and all kinds of different things to help the health of your horse. And Lisa and Terry ran that business from 2009 to 2000 through 2012, and about the beginning of 2013 decided they didn't want to do it anymore. And I commend them for taking on the recession with a new business, right? And those herbs were what had that horse healthy. So when they were closing the business down, I was pretty devastated, and I would have done anything to keep that horse healthy.
And you asked questions, and I like that about you.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked them what I could do to help their business to keep it going, because I needed the herbs for that horse. And they said, why don't you buy the business from me or us? And I said, whoa, I don't know. Anyway, my husband said that's a good idea, which was surprising to me,
He
too.
said, first, you want to do it. I love that. I love that about him, that he asked you that first. Okay.
Yeah. And then he said, what's it going to take to do that? And I said, I don't know. We need money. So he said, what can we sell? And I said, can we sell the tractor? So we sold our tractor for the down payment.
Wow. That's a dream.
To keep the herbs for the horse.
That's an entrepreneur. Well, you're also having a vision where you're seeing this also, yes, your horse, but, this could also enhance other horses' lives. And
at the same time, like you and I talked about, my daughters were teens who wore Tom's shoes, and I was really inspired by Blake Mikowski's cause giving. And I thought, if I could buy this business, it could possibly help fund the nonprofit my husband and I supported. And so that was another really strong desire, was to be able to help nonprofit organizations and the animals that count on us for their care.
Yeah, and I think I really would like to mention, I hope you didn't say, no, I don't want to mention this. Your husband saying what he did to you, or what he asked you, he said, I would love the next life to be one of your animals, because you take such good care of the animals.
That's right. I did say that, didn't I? He said, actually,
in the barn. You were working late.
Yeah, I'm always working late. I get up at 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I work until 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock in the morning, and he'll say, then my next life, I would like to come back as one of your animals, because I think that's because they get fed before anybody else does, and he doesn't have dinner on the table.
You want dinner?
I
hear you. Well, when you have this, I don't know, this love and this dream,
passion,
and
it's a drive. It's like what Gail was talking about. You can't. When it's your passion, you find unlimited energy.
Yeah, most definitely. And you also talked to me about a vet that you wanted to definitely give kudos to.
Suzanne Seeley has been an inspiration for me. She's a holistic veterinarian who lives in Yelm, and she has been, as a consultant for me. She actually prescribes Shaba herbs for people's horses, her clients. And also Jamie Rennert, who's up in the Arlington area. Both are amazing veterinarians.
Yeah, and you've been able to back some good causes. When I saw you today, you were talking about something when I walked in the...
Yes, two different... we do help a couple of different horse-related nonprofits, but we also work with two... dog shelters. One of them is in Las Vegas, and they're called Positive Difference Las Vegas, and the other one up north is called Save a Mutt. I'm really excited about being able to share share profits from the sales of these items to help dogs and horses through nonprofits.
Yeah, I love that. And you also talked about dry food and kibble.
You know,
Can you
I think the
expand on that?
biggest thing is for people. You know what the number one cause of itchy skin? I mean, the number one cause of people talking to me is about what do you do for dogs with itchy skin? So many dogs have itchy skin, and we still feed kibble. I mean, I grew up feeding, inexpensive bagged dry food to dogs.
People in general
People
still
in general,
feed
yes,
kibble.
right.
Yes.
And the coyotes that run with our horses are really healthy, and they eat rabbits that are bouncing around in the field, and a rabbit is made up of 80% water. So when you think about a kibble or a dry food for a dog,
Mm-hmm.
it actually takes more moisture out of the body to process that dry food.
Therefore, itchy skin
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and other
and
and
the
other
liver
related
and
things.
the kidneys are what support the skin. Yeah.
Wow,
We
that's
take care
really
of the liver and skin. We'll take care of the I mean, liver will take care of the skin.
yeah. That's kind of new information probably for a lot of us. I know it was for me. Now you talked about a hiking bar, a rough bar.
We have a rough bar. It was actually created by Tyler Duncan, and it's while you're out on a hike and you take a protein bar for yourself, like Cliff Bar,
Mhm.
and you have your canine companion with you out on that hike. You want to make sure you've got something easy to give, and a protein bar in your pocket for your dog would be a great solution. There's a couple on the market, and if you compare ours to the other, the ingredients, we're a lot less fat in our bar, and it's just easy to
Good.
pack along.
Yeah.
Rough bar.
Most definitely. And, we really talked a lot about how you want there to be a shift with when we're starting to think about our bodies and what we put into our bodies. And we'll talk more about that with Lisa over there. But right now, what I want, you had mentioned that as we're thinking of those things, why not start thinking about the animals that we are caring for? Let's look in our grocery stores, or other places for ingredients, like I say, that we can read, that we're familiar with. And that's what you do with your products.
Right. Well, ours are healthy, whole, organic, or at least as organic as possible. We have our meats are grass-fed, grass-finished beef, hormone-free, antibiotic-free. If it's for the dog, if it's for a horse, of course, it's not going to have any beef in it. But they're
Yeah.
all wholesome ingredients. It's really important to start looking at labels. If we're looking at labels for ourselves, we want to look at the labels for our.
Yeah, that's what I was
yes.
trying to get to.
And can I read this quote that I read yesterday? I think I
Please.
shared it with you.
Yeah.
It said, "You must learn a new way to think before you can master a new way to be." That was by Mary.
Try that again.
You must learn a new way to think before you can master a new way to be. I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Marianne Williamson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marianne.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. And so you use ingredients that we totally are aware of. Chia seeds you mentioned. You mentioned coconut oil. And I'm mixing probably, some you're not going to use with horses, some you're not going to use with dogs. But treats for your dogs and what is herbal
Herbal
for your
supplements.
horses?
Herbal supplements. So
For your horses.
things like you've never heard of before, cleavers. That's actually looks like a weed, but I mean it helps with the lymphatic system. Did you know marigold, calendula marigold, actually helps with the lymphatic system also?
No, I didn't know that.
And nettle is a great antihistamine. So if you have seasonal allergies, nettle works really great for seasonal allergies.
Wow, that's fantastic. But anything that you want to add?
I more than anything, whether people ever buy a Shava Naturals product from us or not, I would love for them to go to our blog and our website just to get more educated for themselves and then learn how to compare products. So even if it's not our product, compare our product to somebody else's product and just really spend time learning about, what Meadowsweet can do to help.
Yeah,
And things like
and
that.
many things like that.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
for having me.
Absolutely. My pleasure. I get so excited about this event, as I said on break. Lisa, now Lisa Flowers, welcome to the show, Lisa.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. She combines holistic health coaching with hypnosis. so we can break through those emotional blocks and make the results stick. Her site, I love her site name, happinessquesthealthcoaching.com. Happiness Quest, like that. She wrote a book as well, Real Food, the Ultimate Medicine, Happiness, the Natural Side Effect. I like that, Lisa. I like your use of words. I told you that already, but it's very cool. So what we want to talk about is, how about your personal quest? There was a time when 2 plus 2, you got to the gut and the brain connection. Can you take us there?
Sure. That all started a long time ago when my oldest daughter, Chrissy, was about 5 or 6 years old. She had been diagnosed with autism, and we began to notice that she was having just these horrendous temper tantrums, and they would come and go. And when we had her food tested, discovered that she was really sensitive to a few different things, and particularly dairy. And when we removed the dairy from her diet, things got a lot better. And when she would inadvertently get a little bit of dairy, and it only takes a tiny speck of an ingredient, she would go crazy. And that still happens today. If she gets something that has dairy in it, it takes a couple of days to settle into her system, and it affects her mind. She gets angry and aggressive, and she just can't get a hold of herself. And it takes a few days after that to move out of her system. And so that back then told me, okay, there's something going on between the brain and the gut. And I started doing some research and talking to different people, and that's really what put me on my path to learning more about nutrition. And it was always fascinating to me when parents would be talking about their children or talking about somebody else's child having a temper tantrum or not being able to focus or being hyperactive. And my first question is always, what are they eating? Mm-hmm. Because it's such a huge connection. A huge connection.
I even did that last night with a friend. And, what are they eating? And there was some frosting involved. Ooh. And you talked yesterday about food coloring.
Oh, yeah.
How that's one of the worst. And you said just a tiny little part of dairy, even just tiny?
Just an ingredient in something that has, like the ingredient whey, WHEY,
yeah.
is dairy. And, if you're a label reader, which I have to be.
Yeah, right.
Because
absolutely.
You find these hidden ingredients, and talking about artificial colors, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for kids and some adults too. But you think about what children are eating, and you're giving children Skittles, and no offense, but Skittles, these candies and frosting on birthday cakes that have artificial colors. It's poison. Sorry, but it's poison. It's all chemicals.
Yeah, and you also mentioned gluten as well. That was another.
Gluten and dairy are very often not friendly to the guts of children with autism. It's there's an odd thing there, but and it has to do with gut health, and we can all use a prebiotic and a probiotic in our lives, because there is such a connection between the health of the gut biome,
right,
and how we're feeling emotionally, and how if we're able to think clearly and just feel good.
Can you tell a little bit, expand on prebiotic, because that maybe is a newer term than probiotic. A lot of us have heard a lot about that. But
sure, yeah.
Prebiotics are...
Well, so probiotics people are fairly familiar with. Those are the natural good bacteria that we want in our gut.
Okay.
Okay, and prebiotics are it's food for that bacteria. You're feeding that good bacteria so it will live and thrive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that helps a lot. Food sensitivities and allergies are huge culprits with, so if you get tested for, as your daughter did, for food allergies, that can really help, because I know you said you cleaned up, as long as she was able to clean up her diet and, then you became really good at reading labels and all that things turned around.
Things really did turn around
In a huge way.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, it was all behavior with her. And when I tell people that she's allergic to dairy, they go, "Oh, she has lactose intolerance," and that's not it. It's not about the lactose. It's not about being gassy or having a stomach ache. It's directly in the brain and her emotional health and well-being.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. And you got into this so much, you ended up writing a book. You also got into hypnosis.
Yes.
Tell me how great that hypnosis works with the rest of your message, the holistic message.
Well, hypnosis is it's a wonderful tool. I am a health coach, and so I work with people on diet and lifestyle issues, and helping people to be well and make better food choices and lifestyle choices. And hypnosis can really get to the root of sometimes when people are stuck and they can't quite move forward around some issue. Hypnosis can really, you're working with the subconscious.
Yeah.
And so
Kind of powerful.
it's very powerful. There are things in our subconscious that are that we can't get to with our conscious mind. And so in hypnosis you can uncover things with people and so that they can move through these emotional barriers and blocks and obstacles.
And you provide that safe atmosphere where they can move through that, and it's not more pain coming on. It's moving through it.
It's moving through it, and the type of hypnotherapy that I learned is called heart-centered hypnotherapy.
Oh.
And so it is it's gentle, it's loving, and it brings the person back to loving themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
getting to
important.
that place.
And we talked a lot about that. Weight-related issues are just a pain. I'm the poster child. I have gone through that all my life, and there are so many things, and you help so many things with that. And let's see, we talked about wellness things. Remember that part of the conversation where we talked about, when you drink fresh water,
Yeah,
change your thoughts.
yeah. It's really people. I think people in general know what they should be doing. Sometimes it's just hard to get there and to implement, and that's where a health coach can come in.
Yeah.
And it's really not that complicated. It's really about eating real food, like fruits and vegetables, and if you're a meat eater, organic meats and whole grains, making good healthy choices. And beyond that, it's about watching your thoughts, being kind to yourself, breathing deeply, drinking fresh purified water,
Gratitude.
taking time every day for some type of spiritual practice, even if it's just being quiet for a few minutes and saying thank you.
Yes.
And back to being kind. That's just, it makes such a huge impact on the world, and everything ripples
And
out from there.
ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we're a world that a whole lot of us are walking around with our really unhealthy gut. because you talked about that,
Mm-hmm.
and a subconscious that's probably not working quite in our, our direction
Yeah.
of where we want to go. And I think what you do is so valuable. And the book that you wrote, can you say the name again of your book?
Yes, it's called Real Food, the Ultimate Medicine, Happiness, the Natural Side Effect.
Yeah. And now looking into the future really quick, I wanted to talk about just really briefly the fuzz therapy that you mentioned.
Yes.
What, did I get it right?
You
this
got
time?
it right. Yes. Yeah, that's my daughter Chrissy.
Coined the phrase, I believe.
She did. She as she was growing up, having autism, she would periodically have these moments of frustration or anxiety, and she would say, "I need some fuzz therapy," and she'd go and she'd pick up the cat or the dog and snuggle
Perfect.
up, and she would calm down.
It is fuzz therapy.
It's fuzz therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love it. And you are masterminding either with that daughter or another daughter,
My other
the
daughter,
filmmaker daughter,
Olivia, the filmmaker. Yes.
and she is. I'm serious about that. I wasn't really laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. But a farm sanctuary, right?
A therapeutic farm sanctuary.
So that is
Yeah.
in the thought processes right now.
It is, and it has been. I started a vision board December of 2010, and have been sort of adding to it and putting it away. And when I asked Olivia, she's getting ready to graduate from Cornish with a film as a film major, and I said, "So you're graduating as a film major. What do you want to do after that?" And she says, "I want to live on a farm and rescue animals."
I love that.
So we've been talking about it. And
Yeah.
we're
Documentary, here we come,
yes,
too.
yes.
Yeah. Are there any parting thoughts that you want to make sure that you share?
Well, yeah, I speaking of quotes, I this is one of my favorite quotes, and I think it says a lot. It's a famous Vedic verse, and it goes, "It is our duty to the rest of mankind to be perfectly healthy, because we are ripples in the ocean of consciousness, and when we are sick, even a little, we disrupt the cosmic harmony." I just think that's such a beautiful quote. And it's not about shame. It's not about shaming people for their choices. It's about
No.
being conscientious and diligent about wellness. 'Cause
I
it's
love
so
that.
important.
I'm going to have to go back on the replay and write that down. Most definitely frame it and all that.
It's in the book.
Good. Oh, good. Even better. Thank you. She brought me a copy of her book. I am going to go to a break right now, and we will be talking to Geraldine Bain. She's the owner of Studio Bijou in Duval, Washington. We will be right back with Soulful Synchronicities with me, Rebecca Callahan, and my studio full and call of guests.
Make plans for the Northwest Mind Body Spirit Connection, Saturday, April 21st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Hilton Bellevue. Demonstrations, classes, workshops, exhibits, fashion show, and more. Dina Marie joins hosts of Sunny in Seattle, Radiantly You, and Natural Choice Network for a discussion on health, wellness, and sustainability. Just $10, and kids get in free. Check out nwmindbodyspirit.com.
Right now, Doctors Without Borders medical teams are operating in some of the most remote and dangerous corners of the world. When front yards become front lines, at the crossroads of conflict and epidemic, where there are no hospitals, that's where we operate. Your response is critical to our response in places where few others will go. That's where we operate. Learn more at doctorswithoutborders.org.
Be sure to support the sponsors of your favorite shows on Alternative Talk 1150.
You're listening to Soulful Synchronicities. Rebecca's job, as she sees it, is simply helping to bring out the brilliance and magic that is you. It's heartfelt with an electric feel. Here's Rebecca Callahan.
And thank you, Lisa, by the way. Back to Soulful Synchronicities. And to the phone lines, I've got Geraldine Bain. She is the owner of Studio Bijou in Duval, Washington, part of the greater Seattle area. She is going to be having a singing bowl demo Saturday at the Northwest Mind, body, spirit connection. That's what we're talking about today at the Bellevue Hilton, Saturday, 10 to 5. I'm so excited. Welcome, Geraldine. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Good,
Thanks
good.
for having me,
Yeah.
Rebecca.
Thanks for being here. So I'm just going to start off with it. You had a big thing happen to you when you turned 50. What happened?
Yes, I had a heart attack. I was on business in Britain, and it was something that came out of the blue. I didn't expect it. The week before it happened, I was actually up an ice field, in snow and ice, with the mountaineers orienteering, and I just thought I was slow, and I was one of the slowest ones coming off the mountain. But it turned out that actually I was lacking in oxygen. So,
Wow.
and then the week after that, I had to go to Britain on business, and it was while I was there, I had my heart attack, and it certainly was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
I was there for 6 days. They didn't let me fly home for 6 weeks, and certainly after that, I thought, okay, I can't keep doing what I'm doing, even though I loved the job that I was doing. I can't keep doing it. I can't sit in front of a computer screen.
Yeah, you were working for a larger corporation making fonts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but yes, I had to change. I had to change the way I was thinking about my life and what I wanted to do with it. Because, after something like that, you think, okay, well, how long have I got left, and what am I going to do with it?
Yeah, you told me you're kind of lucky to be around.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Now, you were already into Reiki.
Yes. Reiki certainly helped me in my recovery. It was very calming and soothing. It's an incredibly helpful part of the recovery. But also craniosacral therapy, I was interested in that too. So I thought, well, I'll go to massage school to get my license, and I'll take it from there. And I went to the Northwest Reiki Center, and they had a teaching room and a couple of therapy rooms, and it was a really nice place. But the building itself wasn't that attractive,
Yeah.
And I thought to myself at the time, I really like this setup, but if I was to do it, I would see if I could have a prettier building, a better building. So,
well, you like
anyway,
color and you like to paint, and
I do. Yes.
Yeah, I love color too, and being around that and getting lost in the paint. So you started to create it sort of based on the Field of Dreams line. If you build it, they will come. You mentioned.
Yes. I just had an idea, and I thought, well, I'll look for a place. I found a place in Duval. It was absolutely perfect. It has beautiful windows. It had exactly the right kind of size and dimension, and I spent some time with the decor and made it look as beautiful as it could be, attractive as it could be, and then just opened the doors, and people did come.
They did.
And now we've been growing. I've been 3 years in business. It was at the end of March, beginning of April.
Most definitely. That's great. And gardening is part of it. Art, jewelry, uplifting, and light classes. You told me that you have gentle yoga.
Yes. If I can just take a mention for the people who've actually are teaching here. Suzanne Tabert is from Cedar Mountain Herb School, and she's been teaching a nettle foraging class here. Michelle is teaching hypnotherapy and taking hypnotherapy consultations.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Young is doing laughter yoga, and she'll be on stage at the Mind, Body, Spirit Expo this Saturday.
Yeah.
Martina teaches belly dance. Ekaterina teaches DY Qigong. Cindy has just joined us, and she has a vegan lifestyle and health coach business. And then we have two self-improvement new people. One is how to actively listen, and the other one, how to say no with kindness and strength. These two
And
classes are coming up the next weekend on the 28th.
yeah, so can people still sign up for those then?
Absolutely.
And can they do
yes.
those on Saturday maybe? Sign up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll talk to them about all of these classes on Saturday.
Yeah, that'd
Tommy
be
Khan does meditation, and Alphonse and Ulrika do Tai Chi. And
Wow.
Tai Chi is amazing. I've just started that with them, and I can't say enough about it. They're just wonderful.
and a lot of great stuff for Tai Chi for my age too.
Oh,
For
any age.
yeah,
Absolutely.
any age. And I wanted to have you draw a picture a little bit about what you're doing with that demo on Saturday. And you're going to add a wonderful instrument that I just added to my instruments that I have at home. What's that?
Yes. So I'm going to have 8 singing bowls. Two are large bowls, and they're based in the root chakra, which is the feet, the legs, and the base. And then I have a solar plexus, a sacral chakra, a solar plexus chakra bowl, a heart bowl, a throat bowl, third eye, and crown. And each of these bowls, they have a particular vibration that's related to the different parts of the body. And when you play them, you can blend them together, and it seems to take people off into another space.
It does
It
kind
is
of
certainly
do
a
that.
meditative way of approaching it, yes.
Yeah, and there was a book I was looking at East West Bookshop the other day that had like the singing bowls. Okay, so it's when it's in this key, and the lady there helped me with that. But when it's in one key, it helps with the, like you said, the throat chakra and the various chakras. And I thought that was really interesting because I am just a baby when it comes to chakra information. I'm just now learning about that. So that's really interesting. And you're going to have a Native American flutist
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Woo-hoo!
Every 2 weeks or so, I play the bowls here for meditation.
Yeah.
And musicians join me. And I've played with a handpan. It's an instrument that's a steel instrument that looks a bit like a UFO. And it's got a fantastic tone, and it works really well with the bowls. A classical guitar, and then more recently, Carol Harkness has turned up with her Native American flutes, and we played together, and that's what you're going to have this upcoming Saturday.
Oh, wow. I wonder if that's the Carol Harkness. I know one of those. Well, I'm so anxious to see that, and thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate that. Is there anything that you want to close with?
No, I think basically my place is a place for positive lifestyle choices. It's community, and it's very nurturing environment. And I really welcome people to just come along, have a cup of tea, take a look at what we have here. I have a magazine that I make every month, and it showcases all of the people here.
Oh,
So,
neat.
yeah.
Yeah, and you have some new faces now too, so that's
Yes,
fun.
and Duval is just a fantastic place to come for a day.
And as you said,
So-
so beautiful in the spring and summer
Yes,
as well.
it is.
Yeah.
They're lovely places to eat.
Well, we'll catch up with you on Saturday. Thank you, Geraldine Baines, owner
Thank you.
of Studio Bijou in Duval, Washington. We'll see you and your presentation with the singing bowls and the Native American flute on Saturday. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And so we have a little time to talk a little bit more, and you guys can share as well. Do we have some favorite things that we've loved in these, before? Because, like, for me, Reiki was something I learned about for the first time. I really didn't have a clue about it.
You learned that at our last event.
Yes,
in
I
Linwood.
did.
That's great.
I did. There was a whole class.
Yeah.
Maureen.
And I think that's one of the best parts about this event is that we bring in just such a wide range of people. And, maybe you do yoga, or maybe you have your own meditation thing going, but you've never tried reflexology, or you've never had an intuitive reading, or you haven't tried a singing bowl thing. So this kind of it's like a little sampler that's out there that you can come and just try something out, or it's a really easy way to ask questions because you're going to meet the people face to face. You don't have to make a phone call or make an appointment. You just come in and walk around, and who knows who you're going to meet. It's
Yeah.
really, really fun. But I remember you came up to me at the last event after we had the Heal documentary.
I had
and
to.
you came up to me and you were like, "Oh, I really want to have a radio show." And woohoo.
Yeah. And I got one the following Monday.
I
It
love
was
that. See,
interesting.
those are the kind of things that happen.
Yeah, sometimes when you speak it, all you got to do is speak it, and it sort of comes to pass. But yeah, and Lisa and Susan both talked about how excited they are to just have those conversations with people when they come Saturday. Do either one of you want to talk about that a little bit, or what your favorite things are?
Well, I do love having conversations with people because people always have questions about nutrition and asking, what they should be eating, what they shouldn't be eating, and what about this diet and what about that book, and it's always rich and fun to have these conversations with people that you don't know, and people have so many questions about nutrition, because there's so much information out there.
I was just going to say that.
There's like something like $20 billion a year are spent in the diet industry from.
It's probably more.
It
Probably a lot
probably
more.
is. Diet books and diet foods and all of that to weight loss surgeries. I mean, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
it's a big
It's
industry.
a big business.
It really
mega
is.
biz.
Yeah. So and there's a lot of tons of conflicting information.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun to answer questions for people and I have my opinions and people have their opinions and it's just fun.
Yeah, and I love the combination, though, that you bring to the table because the hypnosis works so well with, in talking to you, hypnosis works so well with the coaching that works so well with getting a healthy gut.
Yes.
And, and your book is available on Amazon, I think you've said.
It is,
right?
yes.
As well. So let's do that once again, that title.
Real food, the ultimate medicine, happiness, the natural side effect.
I like that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Susan, do you want to share? Maybe you've been to these things before? Have you?
I was thinking
Maybe?
about something that I'd like to
Yeah,
share.
please.
I have been working in some classes, and one of the classes I took, it was about adult learning. And did you know that only 50 years ago they discovered that adults can learn past the age of 26? It was once thought that adults got more experience, but that learning stopped at age 25.
Is that
And
right?
Isn't that just mind blowing? I mean, we're sitting in a room here with women, and I would say we're all about the same age.
Probably not in our 20s anymore. but,
Not in
you
our
know.
20s anymore, but I love being 56, and
I do too. We
love
found
it.
out we're kind of close to the same
Yes.
age, a couple of us. Yeah.
Yes, and I love the education that we do. In addition to educating people about how herbs can help the health of people, goats, rabbits, chickens, horses, dogs. It can also, we also do education in partnership with horses, and we do programs, women's empowerment program and a continuing education program for medicine. It's called Medicine and Horsemanship, where we give CEUs for integrative healthcare practitioners and teaching bedside manner. And I love wrapping that all together and
Yeah.
and looking at how we can shift people's thinking.
Such a great combination. Well, Gail, is there something you want to wrap up with?
I would just like to, first of all, thank you, Rebecca, for having us on. And
Ditto.
I have learned,
My
I've
pleasure.
gotten to learn a lot more about Lisa and Susan today, which is like fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, being a lifelong learner is one of the best things that you can do. I mean, it's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
fun. And it's why we have these events is because there's so many people who do want to learn. And I think there's, it's just so important to be able to get off that computer screen occasionally and go meet people in person and have that face-to-face and get that energy with being in a group of people. So that's why we love the live events. And I know that you are also going to be there helping at
Dina Marie.
Dina Marie's booth, and she'll
Mhm.
be representing the KKNW radio station, so people can
Absolutely.
come and learn more about all the shows that we have here, that you have here, and then also the Seattle Natural Awakenings magazine. So it's going to be nice.
Yeah,
Thank
Dina
you for
does that too,
helping out
yeah.
in her booth.
Yeah,
And I just
absolutely.
welcome, invite you to come have a look at the website ahead of time so you can plan your day, see what kind of classes you want to come to. It's nwmindbodyspirit.com. We have the full schedule and we have bios on all the speakers, and look forward to seeing you there.
Yes, and once again, I know you just said it, but ncwmindbodyspirit.com. It has all the information you could want, but do come early. And it's $10 at the door, and it is such a good bang for your buck. You are going to meet so many cool people. I mean, take a look at the studio, Look what we're dealing with. Anyway, we will have Soulful Synchronicities for you next week as well. Can't wait. And I so enjoyed this. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Rebecca.
much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have a great week.